Supposedly, in December 1972, Apollo 17 went to the moon. At least that's what they told us in school. And if that was true, what is this?
This is the first time we're going to send humans to the moon, and we're going to have humans in low Earth orbit. That is awesome.
Really?
We should, as humanity, we should take a brief moment.
I thought we did this already.
That's awesome.
I was a kid until now. Me being an adult, I have never believed that they have went to the... Mind you, let's remember, the moon is almost 250,000 miles away. The technology we have now, we didn't have then. And they said numerous times, over and over again, we went there before, but we can't go back. So I always said to myself, you mean to tell me that the technology that we had before was more advanced than the technology that we had now? We can get to the moon in 1972 with first grade technology, and you can't get to the moon in the 2000s? Where they do that at? But you always know that the truth comes out. Mind you, this is something that they are going to try and downplay. Let me put it up there again so you can hear it.
This is the first time we're going to send humans to the moon, and we're going to have humans in low Earth orbit. That is awesome. Like, we should, as humanity, we should take a brief moment to go, that's awesome.
I need you to jump down a rabbit hole and see how many people said that they never been to the moon before. Do you believe they went to the moon before? No, I'm really asking. Do you believe that they went to the moon before? Because he just said that this will be the first time of them going to the moon right now. And I don't even believe they're going to go now. But that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother video. You heard it, right? I'm out.
Russia said, y'all gonna learn today. Vladimir Putin said that y'all are gonna learn today. I told y'all that Putin was gonna be putting us on. So Russia just opened its doors to one of the most ancient churches in the land, y'all. And guess what the people found? They were shocked to see that the prophets, and I mean all of the prophets, every single one of them were indigenous. They were copper-colored people. But we in America, we're not surprised. We're not shocked at all, because we been trying to tell y'all. And it's not like y'all didn't know. Why do you think there was a reason why the door stayed locked in the churches in the first place? Why do you think y'all were blowing off the noses off the artifacts, huh? Now, things are coming to the surface. The truth is coming to the surface. Putin saying there will be no more truth staying buried in Russia. And they didn't stop there, y'all. Russia just banned Satanism throughout the whole country. So all you devil worshippers who couldn't pick Christ, when Vladimir Putin seen y'all, it's on sight. That's why he's pointing to y'all. Straight to jail immediately. So Russia, what's up? Vladimir, what's up? Since you guys are airing out the truth, do reparations come next? In America, y'all are next, because y'all been had the true people here, but y'all been ignoring us the hardest. And this is why judgment is gonna fall the hardest on America, y'all. But like I be telling y'all, the shift is here. They see it, they feel it. Let's continue to get it. Let me know what you guys think about this video down in the comments below. Peace in.
This is what I mean when I say next year will be the year of the Jabberwocky. All these animals are operating from their lower chakras. Fight, flight, or feed. They're straight animalistic. They're operating from the lower chakra, from the reptilian brain. They can't break through to the higher self, so they're reverting back to their animalistic selves. You're seeing it for yourselves every single day in actions like this in the people, but you're not taking it seriously as you should. These are the Jabberwockies, and this is exactly what I'm talking about, Council. They do not have any self-control. They are lost. They have no internal nor moral compass. Anything the TV or their lower chakras tell them to do, that's what they do. So I am telling you once again, avoid these people. Do everything in your power to separate yourself from these Machine City Animal Borg bots. They will lose it coming in 2026. It's not going to just be this weird business. They're going to be doing every and anything possible to destroy themselves and everyone around them. You've been warned. Bang, bang. Yeah. Council, these people are possessed by all kinds of entities and have no control over their own minds. These entities that possess them are deranged, and these people are going to move accordingly. I'm going to tell you again, separate yourself.
Okay, y'all. So I know by now that y'all heard that the United States government is shutting down. Now, they're saying it's because Congress couldn't come to an agreement on the funding bill to keep the lights on, so they decided to shut the government down. And that's what they tell the little people. But I'm sensing there's so much more at play than they're telling us. There's so much more than meets the eye. Because in the midst of this shutdown, you have major agencies going dark. One of the biggest, NASA. They temporarily put 15,000 workers out on unpaid leave. 15,000 of NASA's workforce is being told to stay home. Now pause, because I find it highly peculiar that all of this is taking place in the midst of this supposed alien threat that's supposed to be happening in the month of November that goes by the name of 3-Eye Atlas. Do y'all remember when 3-Eye Atlas first popped into the scene? They acted like they didn't even know what it was, and then they tried to tell us it was a comet, and then they found out it had its own propulsion system, and then it emitted its own light, and then they said, hold on, it might be a mothership, and now they don't even know what it is, but it's coming with a whole fleet of other ships. Did y'all hear about that too? There's a fleet traveling with 3-Eye Atlas. Now with this thing that they're calling 3-Eye Atlas supposedly arriving in November, our government shuts down. Not just that, but our Space Force shuts down as well. This ain't little news, y'all. What is NASA doing? And then Trump putting out that creepy AI video at 11 p.m. last night. Something is brewing, y'all. We told y'all. What do you guys think is happening behind the scenes? Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. The shift is here. Let's continue to get it. Peace in. All right now, family. Before I put this thing laid to rest, I got one more cosmic breadcrumb for y'all. Now, I've always told you guys that they always let you know who their next character is going to be. Alright? Now, here we have Diddy and Kevin Hart side by side. And for some reason, they cannot stop touching their face or their lips. Is this coincidence or is this code? In the circle they run in, call it Freemasonry, Illuminati, the Hollywood circle, whatever you want to call it, hand gestures aren't just a random thing. The hand over the chin and mouth is an old symbol. In ancient mystery schools, it meant guard the truth or keep the mysteries. That's why I'm gonna let you listen to this conversation over here, and it sounds so confusing because they're actually speaking in code and we think it's just small talk. Now I want you to listen to what Kevin Hart says towards the end of the video and let me know what you guys hear.
And one day I saw my wife looking at me at the corner of my head, she started shaking it, she's like, nah, it's enough.
Yeah.
I get it, you got it, it's time.
It was beautiful. It was a great move.
You know, I throw that product in there. I'm a fan of the product. You know, look, if you're using the product, fellas, don't feel bad about it.
Yo, there's nothing wrong with the product.
Ain't nothing wrong with the product.
We all do whatever makes you happy. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
But I was just saying, like you gave me the inspiration. So for the next 3 weeks, Kevin, we want you to come back. Come on back home with us.
Hey.
Now listen to Kevin. Listen to Kevin.
We all did it at the same time. We all did it.
Did you hear him, y'all? Did you hear him?
At the same time. We all did it at the same time. We all did it at the same time.
This random person touches him on his shoulder and he says, "Hey, Kai." And then he goes right back to touching his face and his chin, meaning he's guarding a secret. So what I gather from this video is that Diddy's time was up, and then he had to create a new character, and they were introducing the new character right then and there. Because if Kai Cenat was really there, why wouldn't he want to say what's up to Diddy, one of the biggest music moguls ever? And if not Diddy, why not his kids? Huh? Aren't they around the same age? So let me know, y'all. Were they telling us something, or am I tripping? Either way, let me know down in the comments below, y'all. The shift is here. Let's get it. Peace out.
Hey, I'm laughing because we all did it at the same time. We all did it at the same. Hey, Kai, we all did it at the same time. Each and every single one of us, we let it go. We said, fuck it, we're gonna ride out. We let it go, and then we all showed up gray at the same time. So it definitely looked like something happened while we was in quarantine at the same.
Y'all, what is going on with everybody? Why are all the celebrities changing in real time right in front of us, right? Have y'all seen this latest picture of Zac Efron? Zac Efron is looking like frowned upon Zac. Like literally, like people are confused of what is going on. Why does he look like Rico No Suave? Now look at this difference between what he used to look like in 2021 versus now in 2025, y'all. Completely different dude. The whole aura and energy is off, and this dude he's like red or orange or something like that. Now mainstream media will have you believe this is due to surgery, accidental fillers, but we already know Hollywood don't move like that, y'all. These are the same people who normalize cloning, body doubles, and wearing masks right in front of your face. Hold on, y'all. Do y'all remember when Disney Channel told us that their stars were made in a lab? Watch this video, y'all, and I think they speak on this guy over here, Zac Efron. Check this out.
Home, this next segment is for you. This Friday, the newest batch of Disney Channel stars grown in the Disney Genetic Engineering Lab will be unveiled to the public.
All right, now Tracy, most of our viewers are already familiar with a lot of the products that have come out of the Disney
I
Lab. Yes, but how exactly do you create a Hilary Duff or a Miley Cyrus from scratch?
Right.
Well, we're going to find out exactly how it's done right now, because joining us live from the Disney Lab is one of their lead geneticists, Dr. Andrew Rourke. Welcome, Dr. Rourke. There's quite an operation you've got going on out there.
Thanks, Jim.
So the stars that we see on TV are actually grown right here?
That's correct. They're grown and developed here. We engineer their brains for advanced singing and dancing capabilities, even posing for photos. By the time they grow to desired size, these child stars are fully ready for the camera or the concert tours or whatever Disney chooses to put them in.
That is simply amazing. Now, how long does it take to actually create a star from scratch?
Well, not very long at all. We use the exact same DNA structure for all of our stars, then we simply tweak minor details like hair color or skin tone.
Right, yeah, we do have some footage here of some of the well-known creations that have come out of your lab. Let's take a look.
Yes, impossible.
Right, but sounds like a surefire hit to me. Oh, now this one's Zac Efron. I've seen him before.
Yes, Zac was actually one of our earliest
My
models.
daughters love him. I mean, he looks so real.
Actually, I think we could have done a better job with Zac. He could show more human tendencies. If you look closely, you'll notice there's a certain deadness around the eyes.
I do see that,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm sorry, it's hard for me to watch because all I see is all my mistakes.
Yeah.
Boy, he seems flawless to me.
Well, he's holding up, but there was a bug in that first batch, and as a result, Zac's skin will soon begin to dissolve.
No, poor Zac.
Y'all, he literally told you, and he spoke directly on Zac Efron. He told you that there was a bug in the system, and then Zac Efron's skin is going to start to dissolve. Isn't this what it looks like what's happening here, y'all? And then there's been a whole bunch of celebrities who spoke up about cloning and possibly being created, and Hannah Montana was one of them. She was quoted saying this. Check this out.
Commenting, the Burbank office is where it's rumored they create all of us Disney kids. I definitely wasn't created in a lab, and if I was, there must have been some bug in the system which caused me to malfunction somewhere between the years of 2013 and 2016.
And here we go, her admitting that there was another bug in the system, just like the doctor, right? And that's pretty specific. 2013 to 2016, that's pretty specific for someone that wasn't created in a lab, y'all. So y'all may take this as satire or not, but they're literally telling this in your face, y'all. And some people believe it, some people don't. But I ask y'all, man, like, why do these people keep changing? Not even in 20, 30, 40 years, like literally like 5, 10 years. Like, are you kidding me? Now, something like this could have been chalked up to old age, like if it was like 1 or 2 or 3 Disney Channel stars. But every single one of them have been changing, y'all. I'm telling y'all, man, These people are not real, man. It's not real. But yeah, this shit crazy. Now look at these pictures again, man, and let me know, y'all. What do y'all think about this? The shift is here. I've been telling y'all. Let's continue to get it. Peace in. So how are you guys feeling energetically today? Because we are literally in a midst of a storm. The Schumann resonance just hit a power level of 50. And that's not all, y'all. Remember I made a video and I told you guys that we are getting ready to experience some profound changes right now, y'all. Yeah, and people are saying that we're really close. So not only did the Schumann resonance hit a high power level spike of 50 today, but we had a partial solar eclipse, and a lot of people are feeling that energy. And we also had Charlie Kirk's memorial today, and someone caught this in the sky. So you know how people been seeing the moon, Venus, and Regulus? Well, tell me why this showed up in the sky as well too. People are suspecting this might be Saturn, but there's something else here, y'all. When I tell you this is the most amazing time to be alive right now, y'all, this is so amazing. And again, people are speculating something to happen on the 23rd, the rapture per se, but I'll make a separate video about it. So we did experience a partial solar eclipse today, although we weren't able to see it because it was in parts of New Zealand, Antarctica, and the South Pacific, Australia area. But around the time it happened, I did feel some pressure and some energy around my ears, and I had tons of energy, but it affected other people in my house differently. Everybody fell asleep, but I had tons of energy. How are you guys feeling? I see it's affecting people differently. Now I want you to listen to this young lady's experience and let me know down in the comments below, y'all, how you're feeling. But I'm also going to make a separate video to elaborate on this information, y'all. Let's get this shit.
What the fuck is going on? Okay, what the fuck is going on? All right, for those of you who are moving through your stuff and you're healing and you're elevating, what has this fucking month, let me tell you fucking something. Holy shit, these past few days, what the fuck? I'm on a 15-day juice fast right now. I'm on day 3, and I know that I can feel 10 times fucking more, okay? But what the fuck is happening? Sleeping, waking up at all hours of the night, okay? Then when I actually do sleep and I get up, I feel like I'm being electrocuted, okay? My body is aching. I got so much pain all over here in the back, my lower back, my ankle, my stomach's weird. Like yesterday, I literally felt like there was a planet on me. Like the collective felt like fucking shit. Like there's like depression and stress and worry and anxiety and fear and powerlessness and hopelessness. Like the collective felt so like draining yesterday. I mean, I had to do some fucking work to detach from all that shit and then also like work through my stuff. Then today, just like aching everywhere. Dude, this shit is so intense. It's like you would think that for those of us who are here to elevate for real, okay, you would think that as we elevate, maybe we get some breaks. No, energetically, it feels fucking insane. It feels fucking insane. How are you doing?
Did anybody else catch this very fascinating looking storm that appeared in Texas the other night that attracted some people to take out their cameras and start recording what the heck is going on in the skies? Because do you guys see that? People were saying that this thing looks like a massive bell, y'all. Do y'all agree? It looks like a massive bell out of the sky cloaked in the clouds. Are you guys familiar with Vimanas? Vimana is a Sanskrit word. It literally translates to space vessel. And they're basically, think of a celestial tower, UFO, and anti-spacecraft all in one. This right here would be considered Vimana. And a Vimana is described as a floating palace, a flying chariot, a craft used by gods, kings, and heroes, extraterrestrials. These things are capable of flying in the sky, between cities, and even in between worlds. And when I see it, I'm thinking of the Tower of Babel, y'all. And what is the Tower of Babel? Well, it is a massive structure that was built in order to reach the heavens. Exactly what these things do. So what if these things are actual Vimanas waiting to be activated? And now with the planet charging up, with the plasma coming onto the planet right now, these things are getting ready to be activated. Now, the most fascinatingly synchronistic thing, I hope I said that right, is that people are seeing a bell in the sky, And people are also hearing ringing in their ears. They feel like their bell is being rung. See, this right here validates everything that I've been telling y'all about bells. Remember that bell video that I dropped on y'all last year? It went super viral in a couple of days and then TikTok removed it. Well, bells are not just noisemakers, y'all. Bells are actual ancient spiritual technology that is used to cleanse the planet. Look at that. It looks like a whole bunch of things, right? It looks like the cat in the hat from Dr. Seuss. It looks like the hat from Harry Potter. It looks like a lighthouse. It looks like a bell. And this looks like a whole entity wrapped around it, y'all. Why do you think they destroyed or buried every bell that we, the indigenous people, have created on the planet? Because we were using these things as spiritual technology to cleanse the planet. Now it's back in the metaphysical and there's nothing they can do about it. This is literally freedom rising. You get it? Let freedom ring. This is freedom rising, which is the Capitol building. Get it? It looks like a cap. Cap it off. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. This is what they mean by stop the cap, because they want the cap to stop, because the cap is actually the bell that's cleansing off the parasites. So the Egyptian revered Bastet or Bas, which is the cat, as the goddess of fertility, protection, and home. And Earth is our home, so Earth would be considered the cat, right? And what do we know about cats? And black cats in particular were seen as protectors of evil spirits. This is why they always keep a bell around their neck, because they can see the unseen forces, unseen entities, and ward them off. And then the infinite black hole, what makes it possible for all life to exist on this realm, we call it the cat for slang. In medieval Europe, black cats were linked to witches and were seen as familiars and were used as guides to help them see in between dimensions. Think of movies like Constantine or Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Salem. And what I also notice is the hat, y'all. It's the witch's hat. It's the witch's hat, y'all. And it looks like a face, doesn't it? Oh my goodness, y'all. It's the witch wearing the hat. Oh my God, literally the cat in the hat. They removed the bells from our ceremonies. They destroyed them. They buried them because the parasites wanted to buy more time, y'all. But you can't stop what's coming. Like, you may have done it in the physical, but the metaphysical, the spiritual world exists, and it's showing y'all here right now. The shift is here. It's hitting them hard, y'all. I know we feel it, but we look at that. It's a whole face, y'all. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
We are now officially at the beginning of October, and there is more and more concern about 3i Atlas. There are now reports saying that it is getting closer and closer to Earth, and that the size of it is bigger than anticipated. This comet, this 3i Atlas, they are now saying is over 12 miles long and is moving at a rate of 145,000 miles per hour. And they're saying it is currently now in the orbit of Mars. One of the biggest problems is that scientists continue to say different things about what this comet is doing, puzzling many, including myself. So just picture in your mind this thing making a stop at Earth, okay? It is 12 miles long. New York City's island of Manhattan is almost 12 miles long. Can you just imagine how huge? And where would this thing go? Where would it sit? Where would it park? And the scarier part about all of this talk about 3i Atlas, which has been going on now, as you know, for months, we've been hearing dribs and drabs and all types of stories leaking out in the media and also being reported in the media about this 3i Atlas. Keep in mind that it hasn't stopped anywhere else on its journey toward Earth. So it hasn't refueled, it hasn't recharged. There's a lot of things that are scaring the hell out of people when they talk about it because of the fact that it's just moving and coming directly toward Earth. Think about this as a fact. When we head to the International Space Station or go anywhere off of Earth's orbit, we go up completely supplied, stocked, and we know how long we have up there with our fuel. The astronauts have to wear certain gear. They have to bring specific equipment, correct? This thing over here is just going through the atmospheres of space, heading toward Earth. And hasn't stopped to do any of the things that our astronauts do. So what type of defense system do you think we have to protect us if this is legit and is coming toward Earth? Think about that. As I say to you, everything that they are telling us about these situations, they've already known about. It is not a surprise to them, only to you. But then again, you got to ask yourself the question, why is this thing coming toward Earth? So let's just hope that this is just an asteroid. But if it is a gigantic asteroid. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you. So NASA is planning on doing something that has never been done before. The claims are that NASA is about to send a nuclear weapon into outer space. You heard what I just said, a nuclear weapon into outer space. Why are they planning on doing this? Because their plan is to stop a city-killing asteroid from hitting the moon. Now, this is that same city-killer asteroid that was supposed to hit Earth. So my thoughts are, what did it do? Change direction? It's now heading directly toward the moon. Now, if you recall when they talked about this city-killer asteroid, they gave it a 3% chance of hitting Earth. So my question to you is, now that it's heading to the moon, do you really think that it's an asteroid, or do you think it might be something else? The reason why I bring it up is, why would you be willing to send a nuke to stop it from hitting the moon? What if it decides to fall back toward Earth? Will we be finished? What should make this more concerning to many is the fact that they keep talking about 3i Atlas, right? And how they're communicating with other forms of life, allegedly. So they're telling us they want to send a nuke to hit an asteroid. So keep in mind, as I say this all the time, whatever they are talking about or whatever they're telling us about, it's something they already knew about. So let me know your thoughts in the comments as to what you think they should do about this asteroid that's about to hit the moon. Should they send the nuke up there, or should they take a different approach? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
The government shutdown. If you're still screaming F Trump's administration after witnessing the demon rats demand billions of dollars for other nations and themselves, you are the enemy. So I've been telling y'all the financial corruption was stopped earlier this year by Doge. And of course, we had to wait some time to see the effects. Hell, me and you may have more money than the demon rats does right now, because they decided to live lifestyles as if they had endless money, in which they did for a period of time. Now I want y'all to imagine, how can it coerce people if they're going broke? They resort to violence. Look around. Y'all see it's happening everywhere by them, the demons. They're doing it in order for people to comply with their BS. I told y'all they've been stealing from America to literally fund and build other nations all over the world, while they're slowly committing genocide to the original American people right now. With the agriculture system, usually things we can afford, has been altered, and it is GMO. The legal system, they kidnap and holding hundreds of thousands of our people hostage in order to steal their inheritance by coercing them into contracts to sign their rights over to become property of the state. The education system is designed to kill the American spirit, which ultimately leads them the wrong way from their destiny. I'm sure y'all done heard about the Ian Roberts story, the superintendent that was getting paid over $300,000 a year, running from ICE in a car registered to the school in which he had a weapon in. Now ask yourself, how is a legal immigrant able to obtain a job with such a high pay and high position that controls the education of kids? You see, he was here posing as a black American, but have absolutely no connection to us at all. So somebody higher up was to tell him to brainwash the kids this specific way. He's gonna do it. Now, if he's an actual black American, he'd actually care. And he'll teach the way he believes will be productive to the children versus being destructive just because someone told you to. And this goes in every field there is. It's either you got a moral code or you don't. I mean, the same even go for these doctors. You'll literally see every race up in there all of the time. They may not even speak complete English, but it's gonna be rare to see a black American as a doctor because they all know we have emotions that may spark. And then they'll become a whistleblower because they now see things as being intentionally done to their own people. And all this was possible because of DEI. It allowed everyone from foreign nations to get jobs before the original black Americans that's been here this whole time. And that will never allow us to get to the very top to see the real plans and the real damage they are doing to us covertly. And this is why they're upping their price on them visas to $100,000 a year. So things like this doesn't happen. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention the farmers. They'll get offers to spray their plants or inject them with chemicals for a paycheck. But again, we know people of this land will not do it and will warn the others of the truth. You see, the government shutdown this time is going to be real and not fake like the other ones. Because Trump has a counter for everything they're going to do because it already happened before. This is how they was able to do what they did in 2020 to the whole world. Because Trump didn't finish his term, he was taken over by FEMA. And we all instantly went to lockdown and they did what they did. They placed high frequency weapons everywhere, on the land and in people's bodies. So now the swamp is clearly drained and they gotta come out the mud with nowhere to hide. It's over for them demons. Everything is going back to its natural order. Anyways, I hope y'all picked up what I put down. Y'all know how I keep it. Y'all be guys. Hey. I watched an 1.5 hour long meeting with Trump and all the generals we all heard about. So you don't have to. I'm about to create a series of my personal highlights of everything that was said. In order, besides this first one I'm about to show y'all because I believe it's the most important. So be sure to check all my pages just in case any of these platforms want to be sensitive because it's about to get deep.
We are rapidly moving forward with the first ever 6th generation fighter jet. I didn't name it. I did not name it. Boeing came in and they said, sir, this is our submittal. It's the greatest fighting jet ever done. And you know, they're testing all these planes, all the companies are testing, and this one tested like through the roof. And they said, we'd like to name it the F-47. I said, all right, let me think about it. Then after thinking for about 2 seconds, I said, okay. You know what that means, 47, I'm 47. So I'm 45, 46, and 47, you know, if you think about it. I just don't want the credit for 46. I don't want to have their open borders and people coming in from all over the world, including jails and mental institutes. I don't want that on my record, but I like having it. We're investing tens of billions of dollars in modernizing our nuclear deterrence capabilities like never before. And we've begun construction on what we call the Golden Dome missile defense shield. It'll be the most sophisticated in the world. You watched it do well until they had some problems at the end with a little bit of a lack of ammunition, defensive ammunition, but they've got that taken care of. But I tell you, it's what we're doing is so good, and we deserve it. You know, we help other countries with it. We don't have it ourselves. And Canada called me a couple of weeks ago. They want to be part of it. To which I said, well, why don't you just join our country? You become 51 and become the 51st state, and you get it for free. So I don't know if that made a big impact, but it does make a lot of sense. It actually makes, because they're having a hard time up there in Canada now, because as you know, with tariffs, everyone's coming into our country. We have more investment than we've ever had before, $17 trillion coming in. As an example, in 4 years, Biden didn't have $1 trillion. We have 17 trillion more than that in 8 months coming in. And they're coming in from Canada, Mexico, from Europe, from all over. AI, auto plants. Everybody's coming back to the United States.
When you say he was the 45th, 46th, and 47th president, but he don't want to take credit for the 46th, it's because the demon rats took over. The hostile takeover of the government that already happened. I always tell y'all to watch that Trump True Purpose video because it shows everything they was planning on doing that Trump was reversing before the reset. So I'm about to show you a clip of this video I made back in 2023. proving to y'all that Trump never finished his term and Biden was never the president. Everyone thought he was because they controlled the media.
Here's Alex Azar. Was there not a Tsar Alexander that started wars everywhere? This is history repeating itself. So do y'all remember when Trump was downplaying the situation in the very beginning by saying he's an alarmist, everything's under control, and his most famous line is just one person coming from China. Also note, it says the Trump administration wasn't planning on declaring a public health emergency. I know it may not sound like a lot, but as long as he delayed it, he literally saved millions of people with all the delays he created in their plan. Because once again, he believes in free will, not the coercion, because they have to face their karma for that. So eventually, Alex Azar went ahead and issued a public health emergency. This forced Trump to issue a national emergency. When he issued a national emergency, he gave up all of his power to FEMA. This is why immediately after he declares a national prayer day, because he knows the power of manifestation, and he knew he lost all control over the situation. So that was his final attempt for us to use our power to prevent this whole thing from happening. So FEMA isn't what we think it is. We all should have known that when we seen them coffins all around the country. And it was for this particular reason for what they're planning right now. FEMA was created in a series of executive orders. A presidential executive order, whether constitutional or not, becomes law simply by its publication in the Federal Registry. Congress is bypassed. Executive Order 12148 created a Federal Emergency Management Agency that is to interface with the Department of Defense and the Civil Defense Planning and Funding. A emergency czar will be appointed. So back to this guy, Alex Azar. He is the one that initiated a public health emergency, which forced Trump to issue a national emergency, which led to him losing power and giving it all to FEMA. So he's the one that initiated the pandemic. And what makes this so obvious is his name. He is a czar, right? And he issued the emergency. Not only that, he was the first chairman of the White House House Sauce 19 Task Force for only 1 month, meaning he only came in to initiate the war. So back to the executive orders. EO number 12656. This is what allowed the lockdowns and gives them the right to federalize the National Guard to seal all borders and take control of U.S. airspace and all ports of entry.
As y'all can see, at the end of the clip, we are literally at the beginning of the end. Because clearly back then, I said it starts when they federalize the National Guard, in which they are clearly doing right now. But I'm gonna keep on telling y'all, he literally is reversing everything he's planning on doing on us to them. So when Trump issued that national emergency this time, he already knew what to do. And this is why they had a nationwide injunctions, all in order to stop Trump's executive orders, because he was targeting them, the elites, the ones that oppressed everybody, because they knew his executive orders bypassed the Congress. And we all know what con means, and if you don't know what progress means, it means a step. So they progressively taking steps back. That's what Congress really means. And clearly he opposes Congress. So when the national emergency happened, right, FEMA was supposed to be activated. But instead of FEMA, guess who was activated this time? It was a Doge. And I explained that to y'all through my videos. Go through all my videos. I'm putting everything down to y'all, but now everything's coming down to the end and it all makes sense. So Doge replaced FEMA. And as y'all can see, FEMA interfaces with the Department of Defense. And as you can see, the Department of Defense is now the Department of War. It has changed. Y'all remember back in the day when Trump was trying to build that wall to separate us from Mexico? But all the demons convinced everybody that it was bad? It's because he knew their plans the whole time. As y'all can see, he talking about they bringing the criminals through the borders. As y'all can see through the videos from back in the day, it wasn't just quote unquote Mexicans, it was people from all around the world coming across the Mexico border. And a lot of them was military aged men, just in case y'all forgot. And they already had bank cards. And on the other end, they bring in the specialists that also work for the Department of Defense, as I broke that down in my Truth About Visas video. They'll use them to bring the quote unquote, like I say, specialists through here, which would be the doctors. As y'all know, people had an uproar about that recently because they upped the visas to $100,000 a year. Also, he talks about the Golden Dome. As y'all can see, I made a video a few months ago about that, in which correlates with the Trump True Purpose video also. And I'll explain how we try to make peace around the world and the ones close by trying to get them to join into the states to be included in the Golden Dome. Because I believe he is the one that's going to set off the trumpets of the apocalypse because of the asteroids. So I always try to explain all the bloodlines here. I'm going to keep it simple. Some are immortal, meaning they cannot die, and some are mortal, meaning they can die. And those are the ones he's trying to save. He will have control over the ones that wasn't sent to the underworld, while the immortal ones are free to roam Earth and the universe. There still will be people that need to be governed on the mortal side. So right now, he's just making sure none of the real evil ones make it through somehow, because they have too much knowledge. The universal laws never changes, and our enemies somehow created deceptive loopholes. But like I said, this is about to be a series, and this is just part 1. Anyways, I hope y'all picked up what I put down. Y'all know how I keep it. Y'all be guys. Peace.
I've never walked into a room so silent before. This is very... Don't laugh. You're not allowed to do that. You know what? Just have a good time. And if you want to applaud, you applaud. And if you want to do anything you want, you can do anything you want. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave the room. Of course, there goes your rank. There goes your future. But you just feel nice and loose, okay? Because we're all on the same team. And I was told that, sir, you won't hear a murmur in the room. I said, we got to loosen these guys up a little bit. So you just have a good time. But I want to thank Secretary Hegseth and General Kane, General Raisin Kane for a reason, they call him.
You see, that's why I like that guy. When he's being extremely direct, most people may think he's joking. And obviously that was the intro. So we all know about the government shutdown and how the way it opens the doors for mass firings. And we all know who does it the best.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. 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 You're fired. 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 You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. 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 You're fired. 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 You're fired. 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 This country over the last 4 years with the incompetence. There could be no higher honor than to serve as your commander-in-chief. It is a great honor. I look at you, you're just incredible people. Central casting, I might add. To each and every one of you, I thank you for your unwavering devotion to the armed forces and to the country that we've all sworn a sacred oath to defend. We all have that oath, every one of us.
When he mentions the last 4 years, like I always tell y'all, he was always a president. He never finished his first term, meaning Biden was never the president because FEMA took over. And he always mentions central casting because these are actors in a movie that we are living. They know what's about to happen, we just don't. That's also why he emphasized the sacred oath that all the generals took just in case they're one of the actors playing a negative role.
But in the end, we did it. And I have to be honest, it's so popular. I thought it would be met with fury on the left, but they're sort of giving up, I must be honest with you. They've had it. They've had it with Trump. They've been after me for so many years now. Here we are. Here we are. Come to the White House anytime you'd like. No, they've given up. They're bad, a lot of bad people. But all over, that's been so popular. It's been very popular. I really thought that we were going to have to sort of fight it through. There's been no fight. There's been no fight. Like what I called the Gulf of America, the Gulf of America. Because to me, it was always the Gulf of America. I could never understand. We have 92% of the frontage. And for years, actually 350 years, they were there before us. It was called the Gulf of Mexico. I just had this idea. I'm looking at a map. I'm saying, we have most of the frontage. Why is it Gulf of Mexico? Why isn't it the Gulf of America? And I made the change and it went smoothly.
So in that clip, he's basically bragging how the way he beat them at their own game. And then showing us how easy it is to change history, in which should make everyone question, is his story really true?